Ohayou gozaimasu. Welcome to the lower bracket semifinal game, USA versus Japan. Opening sprint. Hooper taking the sprint for the US, and he will win it over Adachi. USA ball. USA is coming off the loss to Hungary yesterday in the quarterfinal. Appears to be Halleck in center, holding position, turn inside on the perimeter, gets the ball all the way down to the wing. They're going to drop off the wing. Ordinary foul. Irving will have to dump the ball. So a first possession dump by Team USA. They're going to have to make some adjustments and figure out the Japanese defensive scheme. The Japanese like to play with 3 players pressed way out, almost to half. Shot outside, field blocked, USA ball. So Team USA is going to feel out the Japanese defense the first couple of possessions. We saw the Germans kind of manipulate the Japanese defense by playing 4-on-4. Ball inside, loses the handle, but it goes right to Hooper. Inside turn, draws a 5-meter. So a little back and forth sequence there. It looked like the American center lost the handle and didn't necessarily want to pass it to Hooper, but Hooper was right where he needed to be. Cupido will be taking the penalty shot from 5 meters out. Deflected off the crossbar, out of bounds. He just missed the shot. Cupido taking a lot of shots yesterday in the game against Hungary. He had some really great goals, but he also had some misses. So he's trying to dial in his shot early in this game with a 5-meter, but he's not able to put it in. Overpass, the Japanese post-up player on the left side will go to Team USA. The experimental rules: you can draw a foul outside 6 meters. The yellow area is now all the way out to 6 meters. And a player can take a shot. They can even fake and take a shot or swim and take a shot. The penalty shot, though, will still be taken from 5 meters. That hasn't changed. So you can see the Japanese pressing way out. One Japanese player already leaves on offense. 5 in the shot clock. Shot goal. Inside move by Cupido. He's a good post-up player, so being down at the wing with the Japanese player having no other help, Cupido will be able to make a move most of the game, and he's an excellent shooter, so that was a good finish. So first goal on the board. Cupido 2 shots so far. Japanese, a lot of movement. They'll drive 1, 2, 3, or 4 players. Here's the second drive coming through. They're looking to draw an exclusion, but also get open. Another drive. He'll get open a little bit. Good cover by Irving. Irving has to back up. Field block. Deflected out of bounds by Barron. That's Adachi. Adachi, a prolific shooter for Team Japan. So you can see the drive collapsed the defense a little bit, but Irving held position well. Held the shot block position. One drive through, going to the right side. Only 20 seconds on the reset. Shot, field blocked out of bounds. USA ball. So another experimental rule. After a block out of bounds by the goalie or an exclusion, the shot clock will reset to 20 seconds instead of 30. USA moving in. Off speed, lob, cross cage, goes over the cage by Hooper. Japan ball. Japan is also known for their counterattack. All 6 players will be sprinting down and pushing the defense as deep as possible. Here they're in a 4-4. Their center leaves. Shot outside by Adachi. Goal. So again, he's probably one of their best shooters, maybe their best shooter. And he gets the first goal for Japan. Just walks in. I didn't see who that was on the American side, but he got stuck inside. There was no center, and they're in a zone, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So as soon as that center gets out of there, they should have been in a press. USA should have been in a press. So USA is going to go 3-3 down line. Japan's not pressing out too deep. They are playing hard on the wings. Fourth man inside to the center. Pass was a little bit too far away from him. He reached out to try to get it, and the defender was able to tip it over to his goalie. Small breakaway. He's going to flare out to the wing. Ordinary foul. They got drivers coming up the middle, though. Shot from outside. Barron, no problem. And the U.S. offensive penalty by Hooper on the U.S. So the Japanese will get the ball back. Ball to point. Right slot. Left slot. Big fake. They got a post up on the left side. Adachi. He's going to flare out. Drive comes through the middle. Ball inside. He's got position. Shot blocked by Barron. Good positioning. Barron was taking up a lot of cage there. Right-hander. Getting to a bad angle spot for that shot. The drive was good, though. Team USA pushing down. They have 5 men in the attack zone. The 6th player is staying wide. Draws an ejection in the middle. 6-on-5 Team USA. First 6-on-5 of the game. Irving, right side. He's right-handed. 2 follows. Up to 4. 1. Slides into the pocket. To 2. Blocked by the goalie. Not sure why he didn't go short side. He was 1 meter out. He tries to go cross cage on that. That's not the shot you want to take there. Irving, off the post, reset, new shot clock, 20 seconds. They're even. Ball to the 5. Hooper, ball inside, shot, goal. Sneaks it underneath the goalie's arm. Good turn outside. Immediately attacks towards the goal. He gets to about the 6-meter line, raises up high out of the water, and finishes, sneaks under the goalie's arm. Takamura. So going back to that 6-on-5 though, I think that was Bowen on the post. He caught that ball. I mean, he was 2 meters out on the 2 post, and the goalie was middle cage. And I mean, there's no other way to put it. He should have just slammed that home short side. Instead, he goes cross cage, and the goalie tips it out of bounds for a reset. So just placement on that one. Ball right wing. Number 12 is a primary center for Japan. Driver comes through. 12's holding position. U.S. goes into a drop from the wing, and Barron traps the ball up in the high corner. Make sure it doesn't go in for a save. Yeah, interesting looking save there. Yep, trapped it right against the post. Kind of hung in midair for a second. USA pushing all 6 players down into the attack zone. Not falling into the high Japanese press trap. Japan was in a gap for a second there. Ball goes into center. Fake backhand. Turns inside. Draws an ejection. Obert. Fake backhand. Then a strong side turn. Draws the ejection. Irving's going to walk in. Stevenson 3. Blocked. Japan ball. Again, not the pass you want to make there. The goalie doesn't have to move. So the goalie's already set on the player at 6 with the ball, and you go to 3. He doesn't move anywhere, and he just puts his hands up, and the defenders, and goal on the counterattack by Japan. Adachi. So the Japanese are able to counter out of that 5-on-6 and beat at least one player is able to beat his U.S. defender for a goal. So kind of a turnaround there. 6-on-5. Kind of a bad execution. Shot selection. And Japan, probably overall the fastest team in the tournament, up and down the pool. Scores 2-2. Rolsa, he's past half. The Japanese will press him out there. Ball at the 10-meter line still. Rolsa brings it in. He's still about 10-12 meters out. Ball inside. Drawn ejection. Obert stuck with it. Looked like it might have been a ball under. Okay, they're going to call a 5-meter here. So, a little confusion even by the players. It'll be a 5-meter. Another 5-meter for Team USA. Hooper will take this one. And he'll put it away. Excellent finish by Hooper. Low skip shot. Puts it right on the waterline. Lets it skip into the high corner. Versus Cupido's attempt, which was a direct shot to the high corner, and he missed it. Cupido can make those, though, so that's not necessarily an issue, but it would be nice to see him with his placement a little better this game, because he is an excellent goal scorer when he's on. So Japan, drive, looked open, 12, he wants the ball, gets it, he's a primary center, he'll draw an ejection, pulling back by the defender. USA's scrambling to set up their defense. They're set up now. 6-on-5 Japan. Ball to 5. 5-2. He had American defenders all over him, though, so that was, on the Japanese part, probably not the greatest pass, too. He says he's open, but he has no time with 3 defenders able to jump on him really quick. U.S. pressing. Dumps it off to the wing. 1. Hooper. Blocked. To the opposite side. They'll get a reset. New 20-second shot clock. Obert wants to hold position. Gets the ball. Holding. Turn. Held on to it just a little too long. He's trying to make a move. He probably had time to just step out and take a shot. But he's trying to make a move on the Japanese defender, and he just took a little too long, and the crash came in to help. Japan, last push of the quarter. Ball goes into their center. Step out. Shot. Misses the cage. Number 12 is a primary center, so he'll stay in there versus the other players that will drive through. Quick ball inside. Last shot of the quarter. Good save by Tanamura. And he'll throw one all the way across at the buzzer. So interesting quarter, fast-paced. Like you typically see at the beginning of a lot of the games against Japan, either by the United States or by the Hungarian, the game against Hungary earlier, and then the German-Japanese game was very similar the first quarter. Then the Germans kind of slowed it down a little bit and played kind of a 4-on-4 offense, let the Japanese press 2 players out to half. And because of that, the Japanese players can't help back on a crash or a zone. So the Germans kind of played a 4-on-4 offense and were able to pull away in the end of the third and fourth quarter of that game. The U.S. is definitely making sure they push all their players down into the attack zone. Sometimes one player is late or getting pressed out to half. But they definitely want to play 4-on-4 or 5-on-5 against the Japanese versus they can play a 3-on-3 also, but that's kind of what the Japanese want to see. Japanese already have 4 penalties. So you'll notice 2 red caps there on the Japanese sideline, 13-1. Those are both goalies. That means that the Japanese only have 3 substitutions for field. So we saw in the U.S. versus Hungary game 16 ejections on either side at one point. And that means that you're going to have a lot of players in foul trouble. And if the Japanese have 1 or 2 players in foul trouble or get 3 fouls and are out for the game, then that really leaves them with no substitution ability. On defense, U.S. is playing pretty good drive defense this game. We see the Germans were definitely holding a lot. The Japanese drivers are getting ejected almost every possession. The U.S. have only been ejected once, and that was a ball into center. The Japanese center, Iraqi number 12, was playing really good position. But other than that, the drives, the U.S. defenders have been playing really good drive defense. Interception on the wing, long pass. The Japanese will attack on this. Now, he drew an ordinary foul, but with the rules, he can swim this, he can still shoot it. So, late player coming through, they're still going to be up. That's Adachi. All the way across, he's going to shoot that. Nope, he passes. Iraqi. Goal, cross cage. I thought Adachi was going to shoot that because he's center cage and he's one of their main shooters, but he felt that player behind him, or Irving jumped out to him to knock him down, but he left Iraqi open at the wing. So 4-on-3 counterattack finish by Japan. When the camera comes in on the counterattack and you see the Japanese and it looks like a 3-on-3 or 4-on-4, always look to the side to see who's coming in late, because it's usually going to be a Japanese player first coming into the offense, beating one of their opponents down the field. A little movement, little crisscross by the Americans down low, and an ejection off the ball. Halleck wrestling, draws an ejection on the Japanese player. Hooper's on the wing. Irving, Bowen, Cupido, Bowen, shot, goal. Puts it right at the goalie's halo, but it's just such a hard shot that he has trouble controlling it. Right off the shoulder. So he got a ton on that shot. Japanese goalie could not control it. The Japanese goalie, he's pretty good, but he just doesn't have the the wingspan, I guess. I don't know how tall he is, but he doesn't have the wingspan of like Barron, the Croatian goalie, and he doesn't have the vertical stability of like the Greek goalie. So that's kind of one of their weaknesses on their defense. He'll get beat on some shots, especially like inside shots where they'll sneak it around him, that Barron will just seem like he eats up so much more cage. USA pushing down 4-3. Team USA. Irving, right side. Drops it in to Rolsa. Doesn't get a call. Made a couple of plays to the ball, but he's outside the post. So they're not going to give him a call. And counterattack by Japan. 2-on-2. Tries to make a move inside. There's the 4th Japanese player. There's the 5th. Doesn't take the shot. Tries an inside turn. Still no call. Still has the ball. Ordinary foul. 7 seconds left on the shot clock. 5. Outside shot. Field blocked. And they will get a reset. 20-second reset. They're going to try to drive here. Watch the drives. They have no one in center. One drive through. Ordinary foul outside. He takes a shot. Shot blocked again. The Americans have been in the face of the Japanese shooters on the perimeter this game. Multiple field blocks. helping out Barron a lot on those. U.S. counterattack. Double post. 2 players down low. Halleck draws another exclusion on the Japanese defender. Double hold there. 1 hand on the neck, 1 hand on the arm. 6 on 5, Team USA. Cupido. That was... Did it maybe fall out of his hand? He might have lost it on the fake. That didn't seem like a very well executed attempt there. Japan. They're 5 on 5 right now. Player coming through late. Shot over the cage. They had time. They had time on the shot clock. They didn't have that extra player from the ejection, the possession before. Seems like the Japanese offense is getting a little sloppy right now. Ball inside. Tanomura came way out on that pass. Saw it coming. Stole it. Japanese counterattack. They're going to be up. Be up on the left. Goal. Breaks through. You can kind of, you definitely could see that forming up. There were 3 Japanese players kind of sprinting down on the right with 3 Americans, and then is that Takata? Takata just beats whoever was guarding him by a full body length, came in late, and no one on the American defensive side slid over. They all kind of shifted over to the players on the right side of the attack. So he came up wide open. Barron took away as much cage as he could with his huge wingspan, but shooter had too much time. Overpass to Obert. That's going to be a really tough one for him to control and try to get a call on that. He didn't have the angle or the position. But this leads to another Japanese counterattack. Another player coming up the middle. 2 players coming up the middle. They pull out. Their center will leave. They have a post up. Backhand goal. 3 American defenders surrounding him. Let's see what happens here. He drops it in. Everyone's kind of like hands down. No one's kind of like stepping up or getting hand up to at least try to take away some cage from that shot. And he just backhands it past Barron. Japan up 5-4, 3:20 left in the half. Smith working the ball around, looking for some opening. He's at half. He's getting pressed way out. Japanese player jumps on the ball. They're going to steal it. Steal the pass on the wing. Smith got pressed out to half, and then whoever was on the wing just got trapped over there, and the Japanese player jumped into the passing lane. Slower counterattack by the Japanese. They're going to set up. Wing player drive. He doesn't get open. Outside shot blocked by Barron. This will lead a 2-on-2 outlet. 3rd Japanese defender coming back to help. So even that move by Cupido isn't going to result in a quality ordinary foul. And the Japanese still have man advantage on defense here. Americans shot over the cage. Skip over the cage. That was... Everyone was kind of waiting to see what Cupido did on that breakaway, but he didn't really have a breakaway. There were 3 Japanese defenders for 2 Americans, so the American players should have been hustling down to still anticipate they have to set up an offense there. Ball out to point, moves in, left slot, shot, off the crossbar, back down, doesn't go in. About as close as you can get on that shot though. Beat Barron. USA will call timeout. Barron may have tipped out a little bit, but that was a really good look. So the Japanese offense, I think because the Americans are doing a really good job of drive defense, they're kind of frustrating the Japanese drivers. I don't see them driving nearly as consistently in this first half as they were against Germany. Because against Germany, they were drawing an ejection almost every possession, every drive, because the German players were just grabbing the driver. A lot of times they were getting beat, so they had to. And when they weren't grabbing them, the Japanese players were getting wide open. The American defenders are doing a real good job of not holding the driver, stepping back into a defensive position with the driver, and staying ball side. And because of that, the Japanese are starting to set up like a primary center, like a lot of the other teams normally do, which isn't their strong suit. But Iraqi number 12 has gotten some good plays. He had that backhand shot, but that's not their game. They're not going to be able to maintain that the whole game. They only have one primary center. The rest of their guys are drive post-ups. Americans pushing the ball down, ball in the center, shot, goal. Halleck, big move, doesn't even bother trying to draw an exclusion. Japanese player was on top of him, but he just powers through it. He dropped the ball, probably would have drawn an exclusion there, but he just decides to finish that one for his first goal of the match. Halleck's been playing really well this tournament, holding position whenever he wants to. Some inside shots, but just drawing a lot of ejections. Wrestling nonstop. Japanese, two drivers to the middle. 12's going to post up. Another backhand. Barron, he saw the first backhand. He's going to see the rest of them coming. So he's sliding out just a little bit, trying to take up as much cage as possible. So that's going to be a tough shot for Iraqi for the rest of the game once Barron saw it the first time. Stevenson all the way over. Right slot to Bowen. Japanese are on a drop. Deep drop. 2 seconds. Long shot. Deflected down. Controlled by Tanamura. 50 seconds left in the half. 5-5. Driver breaks through. Doesn't have a good angle for a pass, so shot. Blocked by Barron. Reset. New 20-second shot clock. 6-man finally coming in. U.S. are in a drop, but there's no center anymore. Driver left side. Double drive. He breaks free. Pass in. Shot. Blocked by Barron. Deflects right to the center, and they'll draw an ejection. He lunged forward like he was going for the ball, and Hooper was holding, and he gets ejected. Ball left. 5, 6. That's a right-handed player. 5, 4. He's center cage. 1 is sliding up. They have 2 over the cage. Maybe he didn't get a good handle on it because he was 2 meters out and he just flew it over the cage. 2 seconds left. Long shot off the post to end the half. Good sequence by the Japanese there on their last 6-on-5. The American defenders came out a little too high, and the 2-post was open for quite a while. Gets the ball and just kind of whiffs on the shot. So all tied going into half. And with the experimental rules, the halftime is only 3 minutes long versus 5 minutes long. Haven't seen too much action outside 6 meters, drawing a foul and taking a shot. Capito was doing that quite a bit against the Hungarians yesterday. But just the way the Japanese set up their defense, they like to press you way out and then stair step if they can. It's kind of hard to set up that rotation where you draw a foul outside 6 meters and then have a good look at a shot without someone coming behind you and trying to steal the ball. So personal fouls low this game compared to definitely the game yesterday. Team USA versus the Hungarians. 2 of the personal fouls drawn by the Americans were penalty shots. I think the Americans need to kind of clean up their setup. So if they come down with 5 players, they need to just play with 5 players. They're kind of waiting for like their 6th player to get in the zone, and then they're just running out of shot clock. They need to just get down there quick, set up a 3-on-3 or a 4-on-4, and get the ball into their center, who will be able to handle any of the. Halleck and Obert have been able to handle the defenders from the other European teams, Croatians, Serbians, Hungarians. So they're definitely going to be able to hold position on the Japanese defenders, who just are known for being just a little more agile in the front, but getting beat inside a lot. That's their weak point. So Team USA, don't wait for 5 or 6 players to come into the zone to kind of start working your offense. Play with 4-on-4. Post up. You got your post up players, Bowen and Cupido. Like to see them down a little lower, posting up, and then Obert and Halleck as their primary centers. I think even Hooper had a nice turn a couple, maybe 2 times. And unfortunately, just Irving, Stevenson, Smith, they're just going to have to play kind of like a supportive role kind of further out on the perimeter and watch the other players kind of play a 4-on-4 offense, which is fine. Hooper's going to win this one fairly easily. We're also can post up too, so USA's got a lot of players that can kind of break this Japanese defense if they want. Bowen's going to swim all the way down. He's inside water, but he's way out at the wing. Ordinary foul. Inside 6. He can't do anything with this. He'll pass it. He reposts. Shot over the cage. So a little individual effort sequence there by Bowen, but he'll get ejected on this counterattack. And Japan will call a timeout. So a lot of individual effort there by Bowen. He got that ball back on that post, but he wasn't really that close to the goal. That was still a long outside shot with a guy hanging on him. Obert, on the other hand, was holding center position. He was facing the 1-2 side, so they could have got the ball around to him pretty easily. Japan doesn't really run a zone either, because a lot of times they're pressed so high they can't, or a crash. So if you can identify that one player that's in a zone, drop back, just get it to your offensive player to walk in, big fake. Again, the Japanese goalie isn't the best in this tournament, so he's a threat. So they have to go out to the shooter and open up the center position. 6-on-5, Japan. Ball at 6. He's right-handed. 5, 4. 1's curling up. All the way over to 6. 2 will follow. 5, 4. He's got 2. 2 slides into players though. Shot, goal. 2's moving around a lot. He got open for a second there, but Okawa sees an opening here. I didn't see the opening. I mean, everyone had good position. He just beat Barron over his head. That's a gutsy shot there on the 6-on-5, because there were hands covering that whole cage. Japan goes up 6-5. Ball right slot, Irving. Drive across, that's Hooper. He's covered up. Ball's getting pushed out to half. 12 seconds on the shot clock. Irving's going to slide in. He's got 2 guys on his back. Passes it out. And they're running out of time here. And they'll dump it again. Again, should have dumped it behind the Japanese players because you're actually kind of helping their counterattack here. And an offensive penalty against the Japanese. U.S. will get the ball. Irving. You got position. Double inside move, double turn. Shot. Bounces off. Tanamura. And spins in. Individual effort by Cupido. Good post-up play. So tries to draw a foul there. Weak turn, fake. Strong turn. And he's just... And it was deflected by number 6 there in Japan, Aida. Number 6 stuck his hand up right as the shot was coming through, and it just deflected over his goalie's shoulder. Not necessarily meaning the goalie would have got to it otherwise, because Cupido was 4 meters out taking that shot. But just an unfortunate tip. But Cupido just not drawing any a whistle there, so he just said, "I'm gonna get up big and just put this on goal." Japan drive through right. Primary center. He's getting fronted hard. Japan is not driving nearly as much as other games. 4 seconds left. And they will dump that ball mid-court to delay the 1-on-0, which wouldn't have been a 1-on-0. He wouldn't have got the ball at that point. Finishing inside water, Bowen, goal. So just like Halleck in the second quarter, Bowen gets inside water, pass inside. He's not going to let go of that ball. He knows he has position and he's holding off the defender really well. He just gets up big and finishes. And again, Tanamura just doesn't hold a vertical position very well. Like you'll see, like the Greek goalie can hold a vertical position for a long time and take away a lot of cage on that. He just kind of jumps way too much, and Bone just stuffs it home from 2 meters out. U.S. up by 1. Japan drive through right. They'll do a double drive on the left side. Americans are hanging them up. Another drive. Good drive defense. Good help from the perimeter on the drives. Another drive through. Americans all over this. Curl. Shot over the cage. Japanese try a drive on the left side. 2 American defenders suck back, so the Japanese curl up for a shot, but just not a quality attempt. Again, not the strong suit of the Japanese. Outside perimeter shooting. Inside turn. Cupido tries to whip it across, but there are 4 Japanese defenders on that bottom line and only 3 Americans. Cupido probably could have made another move on his own to beat the Japanese defender like he did 2 possessions ago. Ordinary foul. Ball right side, point. Moving it around, they have no center. The U.S. need to press away. And an ejection on the left side, holding during the drive. Japanese draw an ejection. 6-on-5. Ball to 1. All the way over to 6. Right-handed. 2 posts. Slides in with him. Not open. 5. 4. Shot over the cage. They're going to say Barron tipped that. 20-second shot clock reset. Into 3. He'll pop it out. He wasn't open. Over to 1. We're even. Lob over the cage. Poor attempt. He was walking all the way in. He just needs to put that hard on cage. That's a really tough shot to make, especially right-hander over there. Just kind of wrap shot or inside pass, quickly, push pass. Halleck skipped by his head, so he reached out for it, but missed it, and Japanese defender tips it away. Goalie almost loses the ball there. out of his hand. Japan pushing down. They'll have a player open. He's going to walk in. He's probably going to shoot this. Blocked by Barron, out of bounds. The fifth player on the left side pulled the American defense down onto the bottom line. And Yoshida was able to slide in open for that shot. Barron, nice save. You'll see up on the left side an American player in the out-of-bounds area sliding up. They can substitute in-game all the way up to half. So we'll see if they have a substitution here. Barron with the save. Little redirect shot from the left wing, bad angle. So we'll see if there's a substitution. Yeah, they made a substitution at about 12 meters there. Kind of keep the offense going a little better. Japanese are doing the same thing. Inside pass, high, redirect, off the crossbar. So the Japanese are going to sub in game up closer to half as well. Japanese counterattack, 3-on-3. Driver comes through the middle, doesn't get open. They're going to pull the ball out. American defenders are all back. And Hooper will draw an ejection because he just hung on the Japanese player who didn't have the ball. Little undisciplined there. Lob, cross cage, goal. Adachi. Hooper gets called for an ejection, or gets called for an exclusion. The Japanese player let go of the ball, and Hooper was just dunking him like he was trying to do a ball under, but the ball was floating 2 feet away. So that was a undisciplined ejection, and leads to a score for Japan. And Hooper is done with 3. Tie game. 2:15 left in the third. Bowen, right side. Ejection. On the post up. 6-5, Team USA. Irving, Bowen, Carniglia, Bowen, Cupido's on the left side, slot, goal. Bowen just puts a hard shot on cage. Not the best angle, but he shoots hard enough that if he puts it on cage, he's going to beat the Japanese goalie most of the time. Cupido was posted up, or was slid outside into the pocket on the left side, just, you know, really wanting the ball. He was just going to catch and shoot that. But Bowen's able to put it away. Driver coming through middle. He'll clear out. Another driver. He'll clear out. Their primary center, number 12. He's holding position. They want to drop it in there. Irving came back to crash to help. Bowen's crashing to help. The Japanese outside shooting, not their strong suit. Deflection, Barron. I think he got a hand on it. Went off the crossbar then. The Americans are fine with the Japanese shooting from outside. Trying to fast counterattack here. Smith pulls out. 4-on-4 down line. Irving all the way across to Stevenson. Bowen's next to him. Smith. Inside. Big move. That was Obert. Nice step out for a shot. He just releases it too soon off the crossbar. Excellent look. One of the best looks they've had at a center in quite a while in this game. Japanese trying to play one-on-one on the left wing. Not really going to work. Ball inside. High pass. High pass controlled by Iraqi, and he makes a strong side turn, and yeah, Carneglia just had 2 hands down. He knew he was done. 5 meter. 5 meter penalty shot. Okawa will take this. We're almost out of the quarter. There'll be one more possession for the U.S. The Japanese tie it up on that penalty shot, 8-8. 23 seconds left in the third. Barron deciding instead of coming straight out and taking away as much cage as possible, he's going to pick a side. Kind of a soccer goalie tactic. So apparently the Japanese have 2 players with 2 fouls on them. And again, they only have 3 bench players, field bench players. Turn inside on the perimeter. Japanese will play in those high passing lanes. They don't mind getting turned out there. They do mind getting turned in the attack zone though. Skip pass to Stevenson, was just driving in from that other side, held position and just tipped the ball in. Cross cage pass. Good finish. All the way across the cage. Nothing the goalie could do with that one. All Stevenson had to do was just kind of tap it in. So that's kind of the motive now for the Team USA. Is just a lot of movement, a lot of posting up, getting players down on that 2-3 meter line and kind of creating havoc. Little tip attempt by Japan to end the third quarter. So Japan ties it up on the 5 meter penalty shot, and then the U.S. comes back 13 seconds later to go up by 1 going into the fourth quarter. So the tactic for Team USA right now is kind of a 4-on-4 game, but everyone is inside of 4 meters. So getting everybody, all the attackers in deep, and then they kind of let the 5th and 6th player be high on the perimeter, protecting against counterattack. And it's working so far. A lot of those 32 shots by Japan, outside shots, that Team USA is fine with letting the Japanese work the ball around outside and take a shot from 6, 7, 8 meters out. That's not the Japanese strong point. Barron is really good at outside shots. You rarely see him get handcuffed by an outside shot, unless the shooter is, has a world-class fake, like a Sukno or a Filipovic. The Japanese aren't at that level with their outside shooting. So Barron's not going to have an issue. American shot blockers been doing great so far, getting pressure on all the shooters, getting hands up, blocking away balls, and good drive defense. Now, something to understand, the Americans have lost to the Japanese the last 2 games in this World Cup. So they've seen them, they played against them at the same semifinal lower bracket game earlier before the summer. So they kind of know what the Japanese do, and they know what they've done to beat them. So over the course of the last few months, they should be able to make adjustments against the Japanese tactics, and so far it looks like they have on the driving. The Japanese drivers are very ineffective this game. Japan will win the sprint, though. That's their first win. Japanese setting up a drive scheme left. Player goes through. No issues. 9 seconds left on the shot clock. Driver on the left side. They're not attacking towards the cage. And it's 3 seconds. They're going to dump the ball. So 2 drives came through. Neither of them were really threatening. Americans were kind of playing a zone without a center. So one player was just kind of waiting back in the middle in case a drive broke through. So they're kind of playing 5 people on the perimeter. U.S. are playing 5 people on the perimeter. Tip away. Couldn't handle the pass. Japanese ball. So the American defense is 5 on the perimeter, 1 in the middle, even if there isn't a Japanese player in the middle. Just waiting for the drive to come through. I see Halleck. Well, he's guarding the wing there. Capito blocks the ball on that strong side turn. Just knocks it out of the Japanese player's hand. Americans will push down. Rolsa. Taking time to set up. There's only 10 on the shot clock. Cupido and Irving both lose the ball. Give them both a lost ball there. Little sloppy possession by the Americans. Japanese pushing down. They're Americans bring back an extra defender, so it's 4-on-4. You can see inside move, nice pass, inside move. I was watching Rolsa because he was kind of staying in the middle without guarding anybody, kind of protecting against the drive. And as he came out, Okawa came through on that drive and beat Stevenson. And then he makes an inside move towards the cage. Halleck and Stevenson are there, but they're there a little bit too late. Okawa for the penalty shot from 5 meters out. Barron is sliding out. Needs to go back. Goal. Ties it up again. So the last 2 goals by Japan to tie the game both times were on penalty shots. This one right over the shoulder of Barron. He decided to come straight out, just take up as much cage as possible. Okay, the Americans trying for a post up on the left side. They're fine with playing 4-on-4 down low. That's Capito. Draws an ejection. Irving, man on his back, passes it out. They'll set up. They could have tried a fast like 4-on-3 there, but the Japanese defenders came back quickly also. So we'll go 6-on-5. Ball to 4. Bowen's middle cage. Irving, Bowen, shot, goal. Bowen's been feeling it this game. 5 meters out, middle of the cage, catch and shoot. Just beat the goalie. Bowen might have, he has a pretty hard shot. He might have the hardest shot on the team. Sometimes it's not his speed of release isn't best. I would say Capito is probably the best at that, but for this goalie, Bowen, all he needs to do is put it on the cage hard, and he's gonna beat the goalie or get a good deflection in the goal. Good 6-on-5 by Team USA. Just took what the Japanese gave them. Didn't try to force anything into the posts. Japanese driver through the right. Another driver. Team USA is just backing up. 2 hands up, backing up. 2 hands up, backing up. Good positional. Good help by Irving. Great job seeing that pass coming, stepping back. The Japanese drive defenders are doing, or the American drive defenders are doing great. Just cut a little hand check and then 2 hands up to show they're not holding. And the rest of the perimeter defenders are looking back behind them to make sure no one's getting beat. And when they do, Irving just sees that pass coming, steps and just rips it right out of the Japanese player's hand. Offensive penalty on Capito on the left side. Turnover. Japan pressing hard, 3-on-3. Turns inside. They got a fourth player on the left side, all the way over. He's open still. Now the U.S. will cover up. Driver coming through the middle. And instead, Iraqi draws an ejection on Bowen in the middle. That was Okawa came open on a drive, and it just so happened that he came open while Iraqi was able to draw an exclusion on Bowen. That would have been a really good look for a shot for Japan. So Japanese timeout on the 6-on-5. They'll talk about it. It's hard to say that's unfortunate because they drew an exclusion, and the ref's going to call it if he sees it. So it's not like he's waiting to see if Okawa comes open on a drive. .450 or 4:25 left. So Bowen has 2 fouls as well, but that's not as big of a concern with 4 minutes left for the Americans. They have an extra bench player. Ball to 6. He's right-handed. No one follows. 5, 4, 1, 4. Down to 6. No one follows again. 2 sneaking in a little bit. He's not open. 5, 4. In his face. Takes a shot with an American player right in his face, so that's not a high percentage shot either. But good job by the American defenders just jumping out quickly and knocking down shooters, understanding the shot clock was running out. Carniglia pushing down hard. 6-on-6 setup. Capito. Oh, excuse me, that's Rolsa. Draws an ejection. Hard foul. Not playing the ball. Oh, excuse me. That's the ejection was drawn at the center position by Halleck, I believe. Timeout, Team USA. So the Japanese have lost 1 player so far with 3 ejections. So they have 2 substitutions. And we're kind of getting down to the point of the game, though, where that's not going to end up being that much of a factor. There's 3.5 minutes left. If they were able to knock out one of the Japanese players in the third quarter, that would have been fairly significant, only having 2 subs for over a quarter and a half, especially with the Japanese play with just fast counter and a lot of drives. Very energy intensive. Even though the Japanese are in shape for it, you still want your subs. 6-on-5 U.S. Irving. So slide middle. Bowen is coming way up. Irving. Capito. Bowen. All the way over to Stevenson at 1. He's looking inside. There was a follow. Capito. Bowen. Shot again. Bowen, just put it on cage. Throw it hard. Make sure it doesn't miss. Capito will like that shot too. Yeah, Bowen just puts it on cage and makes sure he doesn't miss the cage, and the goalie doesn't have anything. That was set up a lot though by Capito with a huge fake because everyone jumped. If that pass was even clean, if Bowen had caught that pass even cleaner for a catch and shoot, he would have had about half a cage open. But he drops it in the water, but he's still able to put it away. So the U.S. get up to a 2-goal lead for the first time in the game. Japan, 2 drivers coming through right. They're going to clear out. 2 more drivers coming in from the left. American defenders inside. That's going to be a 5-meter, yeah. So I was just going to say the American defenders are playing really good drive defense. And as I started to say that, one of the Japanese players gets an inside position and holds it on Obert. And that is a penalty. That's Obert's on his legs, leaning on his body, and then he knocks down his hand as that ball's in the air. So that's a good call. You know, they're saying it was a tip ball, but that doesn't matter. Matters in the NFL. Adachi will take this. Goal to put Japan within 1. Good finish on that shot. Just got up big, put it in the high corner. So 1-goal game, 3 minutes left. Japan pressing high, ordinary foul. Still pressing high. Cupido wants to make an inside move. Japanese come back, stair step to help. Cupido takes a shot from outside 6 meters. Good save by Tanamura. 20-second reset on the shot clock. 12 seconds remaining on it. Americans are moving a lot here. Obert is kind of holding position, but he's 5 meters out. I think that's Obert. Irving, outside shot. Controlled easily by Tanamura. Japanese pressing extremely fast on this counterattack. Ball all the way down to the 2-meter line already. 2 drivers come through. Man open. Was open. Irving covered up well. Driver coming through the left side. He's going to hold position. Offensive penalty called on him. Had his hand up, pushing back. As we see the Croatian coach FaceTiming his family during the USA-Japan game, we would rather see. Irving, right side. Tries the inside pass. And a 5-meter penalty shot on that. So Obert was complaining about the call a couple possessions ago, and he comes back down and just does the same thing to the Japanese. Almost same exact play. Block, though. Penalty shot blocked. That's the second missed penalty shot by the Americans this game. That was Rolsa. Adachi, 4-goal scorer this game. Catch and shoot outside. Barron blocks it deep out of bounds, so we'll get a reset. Should be a new 20-second shot clock. It says 28 right now. Should have been a 20-second shot clock, I believe. Driver coming through the middle. Another driver. Irving, good cover. Japanese are too far out on this. They need to get down a little bit lower on their offense. He's going to take this outside shot. It's not a good look at all. There's very little chance of the Japanese scoring from 8-9 meters out on Barron. 1 minute left. A 1-goal game. Pass down to the wing. No one's inside. 3-on-3. Ordinary foul. And Obert with an inside move. Looked like he was inside 2 meters. No call. He seemed like he was inside 2 meters on that. He's on the 1 meter line right there. Oh, bad look inside, but That was a bad sequence, just a rush sequence by Japan. Tries to throw a ball inside to a man in the middle of the cage who's just covered by, just blanketed by 2 American defenders. Ball pops out, which gives the Japanese another chance, and they throw it to a driver who's just not ready for a pass on that. So U.S. survived this one, beat Japan for the first time in 3 games. We'll go into the 5th place game tomorrow against more likely Croatia will beat Republic of South Africa. They beat them by almost 20 goals earlier in the group stages.